The forthcoming Makerfield by-election is shaping up to be one of the most closely watched contests in Britain. While Labour's Andyburnham is seeking a return to Westminster, probably to become the next Prime Minister, the other battle may be won on the political right. Reform UK hopes to turn growing dissatisfaction with Labour into a breakthrough victory, but the emergence of Rupert Lowe's Restore Britain threatens to split the anti-Labour vote. As a result, Makerfield has become a test not only of Labour's strength in its traditional heartlands, but also of whether the populist right can unite behind a single challenger. Recent polling suggests Restore Britain is attracting enough support to potentially affect the outcome, making the by-election a significant test of the balance of power on the right, as well as Labour's resilience. Hello, I'm John and welcome to John's Box, my YouTube channel, and to a special edition of Politics John and the upcoming Makerfield by-election, which will take place on the 18th of June. So very shortly I'll be predicting the result of the Makerfield by-election in numbers and percentages, in actual numbers, which takes place, as I mentioned. Before we dive into the statistics and polling data, let's take a look at the result from the 2024 general election. It's up now. As you can see, Labour secured a comfortable victory, although its share of the vote fell compared with the previous elections. Reform UK performed exceptionally well on its first attempt in the constituency, establishing itself as a significant challenger. Meanwhile, the Conservatives slipped into third place, the Liberal Democrats managed to retain their deposit, but the Greens failed to do so. This time it's going to be completely different in terms of the numbers of candidates, turnout, and possibly the outcome of the result. In 2024, turnout was below the national average at 52.5%. This time I reckon it could reach an astonishing 70%. Why? I expect turnout to be so high, and this is indeed exceptionally high for a by-election, and several factors point in that direction. The contest has attracted significant national attention, while Andyburnham's candidacy has given voters a high-profile figure to rally behind or oppose. At the same time, the three-way battle between Labour, Reform UK and Restore Britain has made the race far more competitive and unpredictable than many expected. With voters on all sides believing that the result could have wider implications politically, there is likely to be a strong incentive to turn out and vote. There are 14 candidates standing. This time voters will have an even wider choice, with those candidates standing alongside Labour, Reform UK, the Conservative, Liberal Democrats and Greens. There's a number of smaller parties and independent candidates who are also contesting the seat, making it one of the most crowded by-election ballots in recent years. So putting everything together, here is my prediction for the Makerfield by-election in reverse order. So as I've already mentioned, turnout is going to be 70%. That is, I know it sounds optimistic. It would be about 15 or so points up on July 2024, but this by-election has sparked so much interest that I think people will go out and vote. So, representing the other parties are 8 candidates. I think together they'll amass just 1% of the vote, about, these are averages, something in the region collectively of between 500 and 1,000 votes collectively for 8 candidates. Could be higher. And so, in 5th place, the Lib Dems, in 6th place, the Lib Dems, 1% of the vote, which on the number of 54,000 voters potentially, that would give 540 votes. Minimum, I think, 300. On a good day, maybe 1,200, but that's being optimistic. So that's the range, I reckon. They'll fall somewhere between there. But let's say on that share of the vote, it's 540. In 5th place, the Conservatives, 2% of the vote, about 1,080 votes, minimum around 700. I'm sure they'll beat the Lib Dems. And on a good day, on a very good day, they could take 2,000 votes. Who knows? If people don't know whether to vote Reform or Restore, they'll go for the Conservatives. Yep. And so, in fourth place, the Greens on 3%. That would be 1,620 votes. I think the minimum the Greens should get is about 1,500 votes, but about 2,000. They're not really campaigning in this seat. They're going to vote. They're allowing Andy Burnham to do as much campaigning as they can. They know they've got no chance, and they don't want to let Restore in. So that's the Greens. In third place, Restore, taking 7% of the vote, slightly lower than opinion polls are giving them. That would give them 3,780 votes. The minimum they could get would be a collapse to about 2,000, but I think no more than 4,500 there on a good day. It could be enough to stop Reform winning the seat. Second place then, Reform UK on 39% of the vote, giving them about 21,060 on that share. Minimum, I think, would be 20,000. Maximum I've put there is 26,000, and I'll tell you why in a moment. 26,000 because I'm giving Restore the outside possibility that they could actually just about get ahead of Reform, of Labour. And on 47%, Labour would get 25,380 votes, a minimum of 23,500, and a maximum of 27. The key winner here is Labour. I'll just put the prediction up again for you to see. This would represent a clear Labour hold, but with a significantly reduced majority and a very strong showing from Reform UK. This was Labour's seat to lose, by the way, and especially given that they have a high-profile candidate, regardless of the fact that Reform managed to take most of the seats in the by-election, in the local council elections. It's also worth noting that Labour's performance in this prediction is heavily influenced, as I've just mentioned, by the presence of Andy Burnham, and without a high-profile figure like him on the ballot, Labour's vote could look significantly weaker. So, and that's as a fair fact, Andy Burnham carries about 15 to 20% of the votes there for Labour. Restore Britain also plays a role in splitting the vote on the right, while the Conservatives, Lib Dems, Greens and other smaller parties remain well behind. Ultimately, while Labour are likely to win, the result would highlight a more competitive and fragmented political landscape than in previous elections and raise important questions for both Sir Keir Starmer's government and the future direction of any opposition. And that's my full prediction for the Makerfield by-election. What do you think? Please write your prediction in the comments. If you enjoyed the analysis, make sure to check out my next video or my other video covering the two other UK parliamentary by-elections taking place in Scotland, also on the same day, one in Aberdeen South and the other in Arbroath and Broughty Ferry, where I'll be breaking down the key battles and giving my forecast for those contests as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in another video, and please support my channel. We're currently on 1,070 subscribers. See if we can get it up to 2,000. Thank you again for watching. Bye.